What's going on, everybody? You guessed it, It is your boy, Trey Sense, and we got a little bit of a review, a little bit of a discussion for you. You know how we do it here on the channel. So, before we get into that, though, I need something from you. If you don't mind, would you consider liking this video, sharing this video? If you haven't, sub to the channel, and please be active in the comment section. It is wonderful for the algorithm. Now, listen. I'm a man. In every sense of the word, I'm a man, and I'm an OG. And as a man and as an OG, I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I was wrong. So what I did here was I got 5 fragrances out of my collection that I didn't think were really all that special. I didn't really think it was that much to them. And every single time I wear them, the compliments are through the roof. Through the roof. Let's get the first one out of the way because it's one I just purchased. Was on the fence about it. Almost took it back. Still don't think it's that great of a fragrance. But in about a 30-minute span, I got 2, 3, 4 unsolicited compliments from women. From the house of Rasasi. It is Hawas. And I'm only telling you this to pass the information along. If you like compliments from your fragrances, if you are a single man and you are looking to get the attention of some women and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, Hawas. Now, I have a secret weapon. I always keep mine paired with some good old JB butters of some sort. And I've got about 8 different JB butters, and I keep mine paired with, with something like this. I think I wore the Creative Ventus because this is very, very sweet. A little bit of a pineapple note to it. So I wore the Creative Ventus JB butters because it's got that pineapple note in it. And it worked wonderfully. It worked wonderfully. So, yeah, I was wrong about this fragrance. Well, I kind of was and I kind of wasn't. I still think it smells very generic. I still think it lacks a certain quality compared to a lot of different fragrances out there nowadays. But guys, I gotta tell you, if you spray this on, she won't leave you alone. It was a mother that said to a daughter, "That's him, smelling like that." And then the mother looked at me and said, "You've got this whole store smelling good. We can smell you all throughout the store." And the daughter was 20, 21. They said she's fixing to turn 21. Both very attractive women. And they were like, "Yeah, you smell amazing." I'm standing on my register. Lady behind me is checking out, and she just kept looking at me. Just kept looking at me, looking at me, looking at me. I'm just like, okay. The cashier that she was checking out, she looked at her and goes, "You smell so good." She goes, "Girl, that ain't me. That's him. That's always him." And he was like, "Ooh, that's you up in here that's you in here smelling like that?" I'm him. Guilty. Rasasi Hawas. This right here. I don't know what to tell you other than I was wrong about it. I was wrong about it. It's definitely worth the money. It's definitely worth picking up. Again, when you get it, don't think that you're getting a super high quality Middle Eastern style fragrance with heavy Middle Eastern oils and all of that, because that's what we think. Like I have Phaeton by Rasasi. So comparing this to the quality of Phaeton, there is none. 2 different styles of quality. Phaeton is thick, rich. This is not. It just works. That's the only thing I know to tell you. It grabs women by the nose and it goes straight to their head, and they. So from the house of Rasasi, it is Phaeton. I mean, from the house of Rasasi, it's Hawas. Again, I'm not a perfect reviewer. I make mistakes. That's one of them. This next one, speaking of a mistake, And I've said it about this fragrance 1,000 times. When I smelled this fragrance in the mall, in Dillard's, I thought, that is just absolutely basic. Nobody's gonna really care for that fragrance. I was wrong about nobody really caring for the fragrance. It's still a basic fragrance. It still doesn't draw a lot of thoughts when I think about Triumph of Bacchus or the new Boss Bottle Triumph that I just got. Elixir, Triumph Elixir. That fragrance is so deep and rich, and it smells amazing. And I got compliments on it too. But Mont Blanc Legend Red, and I'll be eventually picking up the Mont Blanc Legend Blue. This fragrance right here, it just works. Men, women, young, old, stop and compliment me on this fragrance. And I definitely didn't see it coming. I definitely thought extremely basic, but the price that I got it at, I thought I'm gonna get it. It has a little bit of a fruity vibe, which makes it a little bit red in this Mont Blanc Legend Red. Something in there gives it maybe sort of a bright cherry type of vibe. Very, very woody. Extremely, extremely basic. But it works. It just works. It just works. And I was completely wrong about it. I thought, you know what, not gonna get any compliments. And every single time I wear it, and it's young girls to old girls to young guys to older guys, they always want to know, Trey, what's that? What's that? What's that scent? It's Mont Blanc Legend Red. Go figure. But I got this at such a good deal, I couldn't pass it up. I got it for 20 bucks. So I couldn't pass it up for that price point. Just couldn't. So this next one, I heard another reviewer raving about it and talking about the compliments he got on it. I had smelt it and I thought, nothing big about it. I got it in my collection. I wore it. Wore it around a lady friend. She raved about it. Wore it to work a couple of times. And every time I wear it, as basic and generic as I feel it is, especially when you think this is a parfum, this is an EDP concentration, then they made a parfum concentration, and then they made an elixir, and both of those are just better. Ralph Club, and this is Ralph Club, the EDP. Now they make a parfum, which I have. I don't have the elixir yet, but all of those are just absolutely amazing. Amazing. Referring to the elixir and the parfum. This I thought was simply a boring, basic fragrance. I thought nobody's gonna like that scent on me. Nobody's gonna notice it. I don't know why I'm even wearing it, but I'm gonna wear it for the artistic sake of it and because I am a fragrance lover and I love Ralph Lauren fashion. So I'm gonna wear Ralph Club. And yeah, nobody's gonna pay me no attention. Everybody that I walked by, hey, what's that? That scent that you're wearing today, that smells really, really good. That smells really, really good. It's just something about it. It almost has an old school cleanliness to it, but then it has a modern sweetness to it that I just think makes it mass appealing, and people absolutely love it. From the house of Ralph Lauren, it is Ralph Clubs, and this is the original, and this is which is a parfum, which is an EDP concentration. They kill me with this EDP parfum elixir, cologne, strength, intense, all of this. But it just works. It almost has a earthy, mossy type of smell running through the very, very bottom of it. But then again, it just mixes in so well with the sweetness that it just balances out, and people just love it. Very, very pleasant, very easy to wear, from the house of Ralph Lauren. It is a Ralph Club. Oh, this next one has been making all the rounds on YouTube. And again, I was like, basic, smells good, nothing really to write home about. Good fragrance, but not a great fragrance. Just good. And then I wore it. And then everybody that I walked by gave me a compliment. And everybody that I walked by wanted to know, man, what you got on today? That smells so good. From the house of Dumont. It's Nitro Red. Now, this is a spicier version of Invictus. And off the nozzle, it smells good, but again, it's not groundbreaking. It's not the reinvention of the wheel. It's not a fragrance that you're gonna be like, okay, I see what all the hype was. But when you spray it on, and hours later you still smell it and you're still getting it, and it hits that mid to that dry down, and it's like, it does smell pretty good. And then when you walk by a person, they go, "Ooh, you smell nice." And you're just like, and you're thinking, but I wore Invictus Victory Elixir. I wore Invictus Parfum, and I wore Invictus Onyx, and I wore Aqua. I wore Intense. But this is what you complimented me on? It just happens. It just happens. And for $29, now do you need this and Hawas? My honest answer is, if you have the opportunity to buy one, I would say go with this one. But if you can pick up the Hawas at a really good price, I say pick it up, because, it's a good smelling fragrance as well. But I was wrong. I was wrong. When I smelled this, I thought there's no way this fragrance is going to be as, with all the hype surrounding it. It's no. Not only was I wrong, I was dead wrong. I was Biggie Smalls. I was dead wrong with this one. But, it is what it is. And to the fifth and final fragrance that I was absolutely wrong about was the new formulation of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. I have an older formulation, and they smell different. They smell different. Now, I have Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Summer Vibes, and I'll admit I reach for that one way more than I do this one. The older formulation I haven't worn in years because I got about that much left in the bottle, and I just don't wear it. But I was wrong about this. I had this fragrance once before. I gave it to the ex-wife because she loved it, wore it, and it smelled great on her. It smelled great on her. So I was like, yeah, you can just wear it, because I wasn't that impressed with it. Revisited. I actually bought this bottle for a lady friend of mine because she loved it. She smelled it on someone and she loved it. Women were liking the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for men. She said it was too strong for her, so she gave it back. So I was like, I'm not going to turn down D&G. I mean, you want to give it back? Hey, I'll take it back. Gladly put it back in my collection. But I thought, I'll probably just sell it because I wasn't that impressed with it. I wore it, and then I got to thinking, did I buy it? My actual thoughts were, did I buy the Intense by mistake or something? And that was just a regular Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. But this fragrance, this little fragrance right here, is sweet, it's soft, it's elegant, it's nice, and it grabs people's attention. And it does it in such a subtle way. I mean, you got Sauvage on one end of the spectrum, and then you have this on the other end of the spectrum. Both of them are compliment monsters, and both of them are going to get you compliments. But it's something about the way this one does it. But it just hangs around for a very long time. And I just didn't see it coming. and it just kind of snuck up on me. I was absolutely wrong about this fragrance, not once, but twice. Not once, but twice. And then I got a reminder of, that is a really good fragrance, Trey. And people absolutely love it. People absolutely love it. Now again, this is based upon my skin, and I think when I wore this one, I may have still had some Invictus JB Butters. I went through that pretty quick. Wore that all summer. I may have still had some of it. Yeah. And layered it with it, but amazing fragrance, man. And it's older and people have forgotten it, and you've got all these other flankers that have come out, you know, Dolce and Gabbana light blue, you know, swimming in the Nile and sunbathing in Italy and all these other different fragrances that have come out. But don't forget about the OG. If you got this in your collection, knock some dust off of it and spray it on and see what you get. I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised with it. All right, guys, that have been 5 fragrances from my collection that I was just wrong about. I was just wrong about them. So, yeah, with that being said, man, I'm gonna get off of here, work on my thumbnail, do some editing and get this video out to you. By the time you see it, it'll be Monday. So I hope you all are having a happy Monday as we're well into 2025 and we are rolling. So with that being said, listen, I love you all and God bless you all. And thank you so much for all being the best part of this channel, man. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. Hope you set some resolutions for this year, and I hope you are moving towards them. All right, that's it. That's all. I'll catch you another day. Peace.